We're gonna get fighting fit. We're not afraid to go for it. Razor sharp and lightning quick.
We all say we'll never quit.
What the hell was that?
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the Retro Wrestling Room. Today we are continuing to look through all of the wrestling VHSs that I have in my collection and to see 1. If they still hold up, 2. If we need them anymore, and 3. Should we chuck them in the local dump. This is the second review in this series and it features someone who was in the first review, which was the 1991 release WWF's Funniest Moments.
I thought you were going to say me then.
Nice.
I really thought that you were going to say to feature someone in the first review, my lovely wife, but
No,
no.
I haven't got to you yet.
Great.
So luckily, it's not Brother Love, it's not the Bushwhackers, or the Gobbledygooker. Today's video, we are going to look at a 45-minute exercise / self-defense VHS released in 1992, and this video is featuring Rowdy Roddy Piper. Is this going to be any good? I highly doubt it. We are going to check it out anyways. Why do I have this? That's an even better question, and I don't really have a good answer.
I kind of wish the Gobbledygooker was doing a fitness video. That I would pay to see.
Okay, yeah, that would be pretty good. I don't know if I could sit through 45 minutes of him though.
No, maybe not. But he's already got the music.
He
Do
does.
some aerobics to it.
Oh god, like a Mr. Motivator style. That would be pretty good.
The Gobbledygooker. I'll make it happen.
As always, I am joined by the Billy to my Bart gun, Vicky to the Looking Glass.
Hi guys, I'm glad I get an introduction.
Yep, you did. You just jumped the gun.
Jump the gun!
Hey! Started off with puns.
Oh, it's going to be a long night.
So Vicky, we are looking back at an old wrestling VHS again. Are you excited?
No.
Okay.
If it's going on the same basis as the last one, it was truly terrible. But at least this one's only 45 minutes.
Well, the thing is, most people probably can't see the first one because YouTube just annihilated it and wouldn't let me upload it. So, if you did see the first video in this series, guys, leave a like, leave a comment below. Let us know if you managed to see that. It will get uploaded at some point, but still having editing issues with that episode.
I'm not watching that video again.
No, we don't have to watch it again.
Thank God for that.
No. I know, I must have edited it about 50 times now. So what was your knowledge of Rowdy Roddy Piper before the research for this video?
He's a wrestler.
Okay. That was it?
I don't know much. He's a bit earlier than my time.
Okay.
Ronda Rousey wears his jacket. Yeah, he was just a bit early for me. It's like I've seen some of his matches, like on like older videos, but it's not one that I remember. Like, I started watching wrestling in like 99, 2000. Remember my granddad liked him. My granddad was a big wrestling fan. Like, he always used to take us to wrestling. So I know that he liked him, but it was just a bit early for me, so my knowledge is slim to none.
And he liked Rowdy Roddy Piper and Ric Flair.
Yeah, and Hulk Hogan. Yeah, my knowledge was slim to none.
Your knowledge?
Knowledge? I knew he was a wrestler. I've seen some of his old matches. I thought he was a good wrestler, but my knowledge of him, his backstory, his fitness and self-defense, I knew nothing.
Yeah, I'd never seen this video before, so we'll get to that. The thing about Roddy Piper, he wasn't just a wrestler, he seemed to like cross over into pop culture as well. So he'd been in films, he's released this self-defense video, he'd been in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I've seen him in that, and I've seen him in the film he's in. What one did you watch the other day?
They Live.
You would watch one with him in recently.
Yeah, he was in a film called Hell Comes to Frogtown.
I don't think I've seen that, but that needs to get added to the list. That sounds incredible.
Well, the premise is that he is one of the only fertile men left in the world, and the world is now run by mutant frog people.
Okay. I don't need to know anything more.
No, that's all you need.
That's all I need to know. Sounds strange.
Yeah, like I said, like a Hulk Hogan, he kind of crossed over into pop culture as well. So even people that didn't watch wrestling kind of know who Rowdy Roddy Piper is. He released a single.
He released a single?
Yeah.
Now, I ain't no prince, you know. I ain't no new kid on the block either.
Called I'm Your Man. Yeah, so he was even in the top 40. So, you know, he's just one of those wrestlers. And I think even today, even like years after he retired and everything, he's still one of those characters that kind of his influence is still felt now. Like you said, like Rowdy Ronda Rousey as his almost logo. It's the same type of logo.
Yeah.
She's got obviously the Rowdy part in her nickname. Even in the MJF CM Punk feud that's going on at the moment, at the time of recording, MJF is like bigging himself up and he says, I'm even bigger than Piper was in Portland. You know, so even now, like, they're still bringing him up and references to him.
It's like, I know the references and things that like he's brought up, but I just don't know much about him or him at the time. I think maybe we've watched the WWE DVD. Like,
yeah,
the backstory.
Born to Controversy we watched before this.
Yeah, that was a couple of months ago, so that's literally the only thing that I know.
See, he was one of the, when I first got into wrestling, which was like 1990, 91, something like that.
So I was born.
I know.
Jeez.
Yeah, he was like one of the mainstays. He was even on commentary, so you kind of just heard him all the time, and he wrestled as well, so you just saw him non-stop back then.
Well, you put the cassette in, you push the right button, already you're smarter than most kids. Now, you want to get fighting fit, huh? First, you gotta promise me that you'll never quit. Then come on with Roddy Piper. But kids, get set to sweat.
The tape literally starts with Roddy Piper telling us how clever we are for knowing how to put a tape into a VCR and pressing play.
Genius!
You can tell when this was made. I get the kids probably wouldn't know how to do this now, but surely they did in the early 90s. It would just be like picking up a phone or an iPad, wouldn't it, to a kid now?
I guess.
He then tells us kids to get set to sweat.
What?
Which I'm sure will get turned into a meme at some point.
Yeah, that's a weird saying.
We then go straight into Vicky's drinking game for this video. Every time there is a montage.
Guys, get ready. There's a lot.
And we'll start the counter here at 1. This is a montage of the match between Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper that took place just before WrestleMania 1 and was called The War to Settle the Score, set to some rocking 80s music.
It was the most 80s montage I've ever seen.
It was. It had like Rocky IV vibes to it.
Yeah.
The tone instantly shifts as depressing music starts up and we get a close-up of Hot Rod standing amongst some rubbish, leaning on a rickety fence, talking about how he grew up on the streets as he left home at 13 years old.
Why was he fighting over cardboard?
The best quote is, I slept on the streets. It sounds a lot more romantic than it is. How does that sound romantic? Sleeping on the streets doesn't sound romantic at all.
That's awful.
It wasn't like I left home and like the world was my oyster at 16 and then he said like, but it wasn't as romantic as it sounds. He literally said, I used to sleep on the streets. It's not as romantic as it sounds.
Especially these streets. It's raining and it's cold.
It is today, definitely.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything worse than lying on the ground.
I even had to fight a guy over a piece of cardboard.
Why?
I don't know. Shelter?
I need more context.
Maybe to sleep on? Maybe he just used to do a lot of like 80s b-boy breakdancing.
Maybe.
Maybe they used to put a piece of cardboard down to dance on, didn't they?
Or maybe you wanted to make a crowd sign. Who knows?
Why is this video already so tragic? It started with him being all excited that we were able to put the tape in the player by ourselves, and then we had rock music set to a wrestling match, and then we were hit over the head with how sad his life was.
I'm still trying to process it.
We then cut to him looking a bit happier when he enters a boxing gym.
So he said that he was checking into like a homeless shelter and things like that. But he says when they checked in, they took our drugs, they took our like everything. Why such a strange thing to mention on like a kid's video?
I know.
When we checked in, they took our drugs. Like, what drugs was he on? Why is he mentioning it? Surely it's just don't mention the drugs on a kid's video that's aimed at like 7-year-olds.
Well, that'll come back later on, so try and remind me about that later. So he goes into this gym and explains how he became a Golden Gloves boxer. He even manages to nick a Muhammad Ali quote about the light switch.
And I was fast too, man. I could turn out the light and be in bed before the room was dark.
Fast. Last night I cut the light off in my bedroom, hit the switch, was in the bed before the room was dark. Incredible. Fast.
He then states how he broke his hand in a street fight, so he doesn't punch the normal way anymore, and he just backhands people. We then cut to Roddy stood on a bridge with ominous music, which gives us a bit of a scary image. It's all going a bit It's a Wonderful Life here, so fingers crossed Clarence turns up. Luckily, he doesn't jump off the bridge, he just runs down his professional wrestling debut where he took on Larry the Axe Hennig. He describes him as being 300 pounds with hair on his teeth.
Who has hair on their teeth?
I don't know. This is a thing that will come up more than once in this video. Roddy then tests his luck by running on the side of the wall on the bridge. He tells us how he stayed fit and positive and is now on top of the world. He's not even on top of the bridge.
It's a strange thing to say. Like, if he said I'm on top of the world and we're stood on top of a bridge, it would have been like, okay. It's not even halfway up the bridge.
No, literally the one but lowest part of the bridge.
Yeah. It's just such a strange thing to say.
It then cuts to even more depressing music, if you can believe it, and moody looking kids are playing pitch and toss in the street.
They were so creepy.
The kids?
Yeah.
Or the music?
Both.
Yeah. Did you ever play pitch and toss as a kid?
No.
No? You both had to toss coins against the wall, and whoever got the closest would win the coins?
No, we used to play Kirby. That was about it.
Yeah, it looked like these kids would play Kirby as well. Big fat pink Kirby.
Not like Kirby. Throwing a ball again, trying to hit the curb.
Yeah.
No, depends how young they are. I don't know if kids play those games anymore.
Yeah, I wonder if... Is Kirby still a thing?
I don't know.
The little fat guy is. He's still around. I don't know if the football game Kirby's still around.
Oh.
Roddy Piper then literally turns into the Pied Piper, where he starts to play the bagpipes and tons of kids start running up to him from miles around.
If I had bagpipes, I would literally run the other direction.
That was exactly my next line.
Hate bagpipes.
Yeah. Well, when we visited Scotland, every street we turned in that they were playing bagpipes, we literally turned around and went the other way.
Oh, it's like nails on a chalkboard. But it's kind of like the Pied Piper, and he wasn't a nice guy.
No. Why would you want to conjure up that image?
Kind of creepy.
The coolest kid in this shot, though, was wearing a Nirvana t-shirt, so he's instantly my favourite kid in this video.
Obviously.
All the kids then run past him and into the wrestling ring in their fighting fit gear. I'm just putting this out there. If anyone out there on the internet can find me a Roddy Piper fighting fit t-shirt, send it to me because I really need one.
No, you don't need one. Don't send him one, guys.
No, please send me a fighting fit t-shirt. Size small, please. Thank you very much.
I will say though, every time they cut to a promo shot of Roddy Piper in one of his many different phases throughout this video, his persona is just like Beetlejuice.
It is a bit.
Yeah, I've literally, in every note, I can tell when it was a clip of him, when I've written my notes on this, I've just put Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is back. I'm not going to say it for a third time because I really don't want him to turn up because he just caused too much chaos.
I think he even says it's showtime at one point.
Yeah, it's just so similar, even like the way he stood and his mannerisms.
Roddy then goes all Tom Jones on us and tells us Mama told you not to come.
Mama told me not to come.
Making him look even more like the child catcher who has led the kids into his gaff.
Into his gaff.
He lets us know that he's going to help us learn how to take care of ourselves, how to warm up, get huge muscles, and defend ourselves against big nasty strangers with hair on their teeth. Why is he obsessed with people with hair on their teeth?
I feel like this bit is like a trailer. I don't feel like it's the actual video. I feel like this section is like a trailer for the video to like encourage you to buy it. It's the actual video.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense. And who has hair on their teeth? Or maybe he means when you have like too much fizzy and then like your teeth can feel furry if you have like too much sugar. Does anyone else know what I mean? That's a thing.
It's not a thing.
Yeah, your teeth can feel like fuzzy if you have way too much sugar.
Like a peach.
Kinda. Have you never had that?
We then get a quick glimpse of the Gravedigger, who is definitely not a knockoff Undertaker looking punching bag for kids.
No, of course not.
We then get another montage of everything that we are just about to learn.
Another montage, another drink, take a shot.
Roddy is now in a lab coat, squinting even though he is holding his glasses in his hands.
Dr. McGrapple?
He tells us that he is Dr. McGrapple with a very questionable accent.
I have no words.
No, I'm not quite sure what accent he was going for, and I'm definitely not going to try and copy it because I don't want to be cancelled, but it was a very strange accent and I'm not sure he'd get away with it now.
It reminded me of Ludwig von Drake from DuckTales.
I was getting so busy that I never got around to it.
Hello? Hello? Hello. Oh, hello. I'm so glad you could come. Dr. McGrapple, always glad to see you. I got to tell you something first over here. You watching me?
The professor.
Okay, so he was going for that accent, do you
I
think?
think so. That's what it reminded me of. If copyright will allow us to, we will insert a clip here.
We are now nearly 8 minutes into this video, and this weird doctor is telling us that we need our doctor's permission to watch this video.
Did our doctor have to put the video in the VHS player then?
I don't know. This video's already all over the gaff.
Stop saying gaff.
I'm going to make gaff happen.
Stop trying to make gaff happen.
Then, another montage. We haven't even done anything yet, and again it's a montage of the water settled score match with Hogan.
So that's 3 drinks, so at least you'll be drunk when you're exercising.
It's before we started as well. Roddy then tells us how important to warm up and not to jump straight into us, and lets us know that we have to get ready to sweat. We are finally in the ring with Roddy, and he tells us to shake our arms and shake our heads and scream like a chicken?
How does a chicken scream?
I don't know.
Chicken, Peter, you just a little chicken. Chip, 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 chip.
Maybe he was playing the drinking game.
I thought we'd escape references to chickens by finishing off the funniest moments video.
That's why we need the gobbledygooker to turn up.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
We don't need him to
Screaming
turn
like
up.
a chicken, gobbledygooker.
There's one kid who absolutely loses his mind.
I wasn't sure if he was warming up or in the middle of an exorcism.
It's definitely one of the two.
I was a goddamn chicken boy.
We are then doing the roller coaster technique with our necks to warm them up by moving them side to side. Once again, we've done this for approximately 10 seconds and we are back being chickens again.
And shake it off again. Shake, shake. And then don't take it off. That's it. There you go. Shake it all over now. Shake the leg. Shake the leg. Now scream like chickens. Ah! Ah!
Moving on from the chicken impressions, we are on to our next warm-up called the chicken wing. Oh, come on.
You like chicken?
You're just having us on now.
Was it sponsored by KFC?
Is this a Fighting Fit VHS or is this how to become the gobbledygooker VHS? We are now stretching our triceps over our head and he warns us that there's a stupid saying, no pain, no gain.
You know, there's a stupid saying. It says no pain, no gain. That's the biggest lie in the world. The truth of the matter is, train, don't strain.
No pain, no gain. No fish, no fowl. No socks, no shoes. No hair, no haircut.
Oh, yeah. It's called a chicken wing.
We do say this every day. No pain, no gain.
We then move on to a new warm-up called Captain Pegleg. He's literally just making it up as he goes along now, isn't he?
He also says train, don't strain.
He does, that is another one of his sayings that he will bring up. All the kids are desperately scrambling to stay on their feet and are basically counting down the seconds so they can be chickens again.
Shake it off now, shake it off. Come on, princess, shake it off now. That's it, okay, next leg.
We then reach for the skies before doing our best Taylor Swift impression.
Shake it off. Shake it off. That's it, shake around there.
After that, we get to sit down and do a move that Roddy calls Jabba the Hutt. He says, remember that big pizza eating guy?
Remember that big pizza eating guy?
I love the Star Wars films and especially the original trilogy. Did we ever see Jabba the Hutt eating pizza?
I don't think so, but you call me Jabba the Hutt on a regular basis. And
Obviously.
I do like to eat pizza. So maybe that's what he's referring to.
Well, I think he's getting Jabba the Hutt mixed up with Pizza the Hutt from Spaceballs.
Pizza the Hut! Well, if it isn't Lone Star.
Maybe.
Where he was an actual giant pizza man.
Maybe.
This move is apparently really good for leapfrogs, which makes me want to see Jabba the Hutt leapfrogging everyone now.
Can you imagine?
He states that this is good for leapfrogging giants with hair on their teeth. The man is obsessed with this image. Since we are all warmed up now, we get to sit back and watch another montage.
Drinks up.
After the 1200th montage, Roddy is playing dress up again, but luckily for everyone he has dropped the questionable accent, but comes on screen wearing a graduation gown with no top on underneath and a graduation hat, calling himself Professor Headlock.
You see, I didn't go to school. I got a grade 8 education.
He tells us not to be a fool and to stay in school.
That's a good saying. I like that.
It's good advice, but why is he doing this?
I don't know, but I just googled hair on teeth, and I found a picture of somebody with a hair growing out of their gum. It looks like an eyelash.
That's the most disturbing image I've ever seen.
It's terrifying.
Back in the ring, if you didn't know what time frame this video was shot, we are now doing cowabunga twists.
I feel like Bart Simpson needs to show up. He's the only person I've ever known use the word cowabunga.
Dad, I've never said cowabunga in my life. Your script sucks.
You little...
Or Michelangelo from the Turtles.
Yeah.
I would explain the pizza as well.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe he was just watching Turtles.
Cowabunga.
Huh?
Which is basically standing on your feet while twisting your hips side to side. No idea why they're called the cowabunga twists, but there you go.
Makes them sound cooler.
If you manage to do this 20 times, you get to be a giant chicken again.
Shake them around. Shake them around. Okay.
Yay, chicken! Baka!
Next up, we are on to the leaping lizards.
Ooh, change of animal.
Hot Rod tells us that they are good for drop kicks, which is exactly how you should always defend yourself in a life or death situation.
Don't do that.
Imagine that. This is it's got self-defense written on the front of the VHS. And so far we've learned how to leapfrog the giant and then drop kick him. Then it's the Jeremiah Bullfrogs, which is the opening line of a song by Three Dog Night, which was a bit of a hit in 1970. So the kids would have absolutely no idea what this was all about.
It's a reference for the parents.
This move will also help with our leg drops apparently, so we'll be nailing them pretty soon now, I'm guessing.
I can't wait for him to show us how to actually do a leg drop.
This is actually just a burpee, but we have to rib it like a frog now. Is he having us on, do you think? I was beginning to think either Jeremy Beadle or Noel Edmonds was going to turn up and like take his Roddy Piper mask off and it was all just a prank.
Well, with the burpee / bullfrog ribbits, at least it's an actual move. Like an actual exercise move. They're just giving it a fun name for kids. The burpee is already a pretty funny name, so he didn't need to rename it. But at least it's something that is technically exercise.
I guess.
More so than just shaking your arms and screaming like a chicken.
In my most irritating part of this VHS, Piper asked the kids while they're ribbiting like a frog.
Okay, why did the chicken join the band? Because he already had his drumsticks.
He's been acting like a chicken for 20 minutes, and as soon as he's a frog, he starts telling chicken jokes.
I like the chicken jokes.
I didn't mind the chicken joke. I don't know why he was doing it, but why is he doing it when all the kids have started to ribbit like a frog?
Because you can't tell jokes about chicken drumsticks when you're pretending to be a chicken. They might eat their own leg.
The next exercise is up and slamming, down and jamming. I'm deadly serious. These are quickly followed by some mountain climbers. This is all well and good, but would you feel like you were fighting fit after this? It's as if this tape doesn't really know what kind of tape it wants to be.
I don't even know what it's trying to do or what it... I have no idea. I literally have no words.
The flashing letters that come up in red font on a black background asking us if we are sweaty yet looks like something straight out of a horror film. Why does it have to look so threatening?
I don't know.
Roddy then asks us again if we are sweating yet, and fair play, he is absolutely soaking.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we get to lie down again. The only catch is we have to punch ourselves as hard as we can in the stomach repeatedly.
Beat the war drum.
There is a shot of Roddy staring at the camera, telling us not to quit again, and he looks like an absolute madman now.
He does look actually insane.
Thankfully, we're on to our last exercise, and we are on to jumping jacks.
Okay, so that's an exercise that kids know and can do, but I'm amazed he didn't call it chicken stars or something.
And he must have got a bit tired at this point, because he didn't rename this one. You should have called them Jumpin' Jeff Farmers.
Yep.
At least we get another catchy song. This time it's Everybody Knows It's True. Exercise is good for you.
Everybody knows it's true. Exercise is good for you.
Sounds like
an army chant.
Yeah. We get another lovely montage of all the exercises we've just done.
Take a shot.
This tape would literally be 10 minutes if they cut out all the montages.
I like a good montage, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, I love a good montage, but I'm not joking now, and I swear this is true. After this montage, it goes straight into another montage of the Hogan match again. Roddy then warns us that we must take this bit very seriously, and if we don't, then Hot Rod is going to come to our homes personally.
I'm not taking it seriously. I'll make him a cuppa.
Yeah.
Give him some chicken.
This is literally the dream of any wrestling fan. If Bret Hart or British Bulldog had said this to me as a kid, I would have 100% wanted them to come to my house.
Yeah, make him a cuppa. Be delightful.
We have to get Mum and Dad again to make sure we don't use these upcoming moves to be a bully. These are strictly to use for self-defense. Back in the ring, Roddy gives us some words of wisdom, but you can tell it scares some of the kids. He says that if an adult ever comes to try and grab you, and don't do the stuff that you learn in karate or other martial arts because they just don't work. He then says he needs a little girl to join him and tells her the best thing she can use is her voice. Then, in my very favourite moment of this tape, he tells the kid, if an adult comes up to you, you have to shout in their face.
The first thing you do is go, "That's not my dad! That's not my dad!"
That's not my dad!
That's not my dad! Yeah, that'll stop them if they're trying to grab you.
It's amazing though, because they instantly repeat it with text over the top and cut to a tiny girl who was one part scared and one part just perplexed.
That's not my dad! I'm not gonna lie guys, since we've watched this, every time that Ben has like come into the room and asked me to do something, like, can you make me a cuppa? No! You're not my dad! Can you put something in for tea? That's not my dad! Can you answer the front door? That's not my dad! That's my answer to everything. So, if a sheer comedy value, 10 out of 10. Self-defense, I don't think it's going to stop you getting bundled into the back of a van if you're like 7.
No.
That's not my dad! That's not my dad!
Arthur, get out of the tank.
You're not my dad.
Get out of the fucking tank. I am your dad.
You're not my dad.
I am your dad. Get out of the fucking tank.
I'm in a tank and you're not.
After this bit of insanity, Roddy gives us some key rules. 1. If someone rings your doorbell, don't open it, as that's real dumb. Which is a rule that I've kept with me, and I'm now 36.
Honestly, the other day, Ben had ordered something off Amazon and was like, who's at the door? Can you go answer it? So I did, and I was like, it's Amazon. He knew he had a parcel coming, but he won't answer the door, just leaves me to get taken off.
No, I'm just following Roddy's advice. It also goes for phone calls in my head. Just Google the number afterwards. Point number 2. If someone is driving down the road and asks if you need a ride, don't get in, even if they say your mum is in the hospital. I mean, it's good advice, but it seems really specific.
I get what you're saying, but just don't take yourself strangers. And why is that in a fitness video?
I don't know.
Kids fitness video. Don't take candy off of strangers. Don't get in a van.
That's why I said this video is just all over the place. Now, we go on to a bully that is our size. And how do we defend ourselves against them? The first attack of a bully is where they squeeze your hand really tight. He says, first things first, if you're a bully and you're about to come on me, excuse me, Roddy? What type of bullies are we talking about here?
I know, very strange.
Is if you're a bully and you're going to come on me, first thing I'm going to tell you is please leave me alone, man.
I don't know. I think that's a bit dodgy, mate.
But the lesson I've learned is shout at kidnappers, beat up bullies.
Apparently, you just have to say, hey man, leave me alone.
Leave Brittany alone!
He then tells us to extend the arm and underhook it at the wrist. Surely it would be better if you underhook at the elbow? I mean, who am I to distrust this fake Scottish chicken-obsessed man? But I'm pretty sure my advice would be better in this case.
I would just shout, that's not my dad, and run.
Well, that's the first point you should always do.
Especially if they're younger than you, because that just perplexes them.
Son! Yo, son, what's up? What?
You're not my dad! You also hear something! Ugly ass fucking noodle!
Hot Rod explains that this technique will make the bully madder. Then why would anyone do this? That's literally the last thing you should do.
Yeah, make them happy. Offer to get them cake and tea and biscuits. Just feed them and then they'll be nice to you.
Yeah, don't make a bully madder, but he's got a move. It's called the bully jabber, and it will save us.
Jabby, jabby, jab, jab, jab.
We literally are just poking the bully every time they come close. I'm deadly serious.
Jab, 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 jab.
He again admits after we do this that the bully is still going to be angry. Great advice again then.
Yeah, what do? You just make him angrier by poking him.
On the third attempt at defusing the situation, we are going to drive them headfirst into the concrete. Quite a step up from the last two, I guess. Hot Rod says if a bully grabs you by the shirt, we must grab him by the meaty part of their thumb, step around their back leg and force them backwards to the floor. And I assume he means killing them in the process. So if you can't jab them to death, then bounce their head off the concrete.
Good advice.
Well, at least they won't be mad anymore.
They'll be dead.
They'll be dead. He's now going to put all this to the test and needs a volunteer. He points to a kid and says, "Yeah, you, Mudflap." He starts to give them names like Jack Black out of School of Rock now. Apparently, Mudflap means tougher than nails.
Okay.
I haven't looked this up to confirm, but that's what Roddy says.
I like Fancy Pants and Turkey Served better.
This kid, in fairness, remembers everything and does well here, so...
Yeah, smashed it. Go on, Mudflap.
Oh, we need a real bad dude for this next technique. We need someone who is tougher than nails and uglier than the backside of Ring Ting Tin. Whatever the hell that means.
I really thought you were going to say that's me then.
No.
I was waiting for the insult.
I really thought he was going to pick the little girl from earlier and I was going to lose my mind. It turns out to be the fake Undertaker. I mean, the Grave Digger. It is definitely not meant to be the Undertaker. It looks nothing like the Undertaker. This is the Grave Digger.
Big difference.
Roddy says that he makes an appearance so we can practice these moves on the dummy so we don't have to practice them on each other. Roddy shows... I love this bit as well. Roddy shows us to use the bully's momentum against them and to monkey flip the opponent over their heads.
That's what you do with a bully. Chuck them over your head.
If anyone has ever pulled this off in a bully situation, please send us a video. I need to see this.
I salute you.
If you haven't died from the alcohol intake yet, guess what's next? We get a recap montage followed by yet another Hogan match montage. It's just relentless.
Drinks up.
You're joking. Not another one? Oh, for God's sake, I can't stand this.
Get ready now though. Roddy now tells us that it's fun time. There's only about 10 minutes left, but we'll take it at this point. He says that we are going to have more fun than the cookie jar.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, I think he's actually lost his mind at this point.
I think so.
Nothing makes sense anymore. Up means down, left means right, cats and dogs are living together.
Cookie means chicken.
It's just descended into madness. Roddy then shows us some wrestling moves on the kids, but they're not as good as when Jeff Jarrett was doing MMA moves on the kids in TNA.
Come here! Get over here! Quit moving! Can you feel it? Well, tap if you can feel it. I don't think it hurts bad enough.
He does a lot of lifting, but sadly he doesn't slam anyone. We then get to learn how to do a clothesline. Well, I say learn how to do a clothesline, but the instructions are run at the Gravedigger and hit him as hard as you can. And for some reason, Roddy just keeps shouting yee-haw.
Cowboy chicken.
Why is he a cowboy now?
Cowboy chicken. Cowboy chicken eating cookies. For God's sake, it's so simple.
The man's insane.
Yee-haw! Go for it! Yes! Next one, you're out of there, you! Clothesline him! Yee-haw! Yes!
Half the kids get to do this before Hot Rod stops them and tells them that the next move we're going to do is the jackhammer. Jeez, that's a big step up from the clothesline. In actuality, it's not a jackhammer, it's a spinning double axe handle smash, which is less impressive, but the kids start loving it at this point.
If I was a kid though, and I was there, I'd be loving it.
Oh, I would have lost my mind.
It would have been really fun if you were a kid if you were there, but try and do that at home. I just think if I had this VHS, me and my brother would have just ended up clotheslining each other against the sofa until one of us cried.
It then cuts to a kid standing on the ropes, and I didn't know if it was then going to be a Brett's elbow off the ropes, but it turns out that we are just going to do a double clothesline, and this little scallywag has decided that he's bored and has just started to climb the ropes. Roddy's instructions are basic again, to say the least. They consist of grab my hand, run at Gravedigger, and shout yee-haw again.
Yee-haw!
Yee-haw! The little scallywag is now off the rope and is on Roddy's back, probably trying to sink in a near-naked choke. And Roddy has to ask, "Hey scavenger, what you doing back there?" Then from nowhere, members of the crew start throwing foam balls into the ring at Piper. I don't know why, but they just do this.
They were having fun.
And then, just in case it's been too long since the last one, we get our final Hulk Hogan versus Piper montage.
Not enough montages.
It cuts to Piper doing a promo telling us that he's going to be serious again. He tells the kids that there are some absolutes. He won't do drugs.
Because they took them all off him at the shelter.
Well, that's it. One, he said they took him off him at the shelter. Pretty sure he also got caught doing HGH in the early 90s. You don't lie, you don't be a fool, and you go to school, and you don't put on half blackface at a WrestleMania.
Very specific.
He didn't say the last one, but if I was Roddy, I would say that to anybody else. Piper is back in the ring now and tells us that we have to do these exercises 3 times a week. There is no way now how you're going to watch this 3 times a week.
I guess you could skip all the chit chat and the montages if you've watched it once. So the exercising bit's probably only about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I guess. He wants to thank the kids, but he can't find them anywhere. And they all Pearl Harbor him and dogpile on him to end this VHS. I say end this VHS. Oh, come on, there's another Hulk Hogan versus Piper montage.
God fucking damn it!
Not enough montages in my opinion.
It's about 312.
It was a 45-minute video and I would say at least 38 minutes of montages. And then there's 5 minutes of chickens and 2 minutes of exercise.
So Vicky, what did you think of this VHS tape?
I'm literally lost for words. It didn't feel quite as long as Funniest Moments because I feel that took about 10 years off my life. I feel like I learned about 3 exercise moves. I learned that you can replace exercise move names with chickens.
Yeah.
I learned that Roddy Piper is clinically insane.
Yeah.
He says don't do drugs. I think that's because he'd taken all of the drugs before this.
There's none left for her.
Yeah.
Imagine doing this on drugs.
Jesus Christ. Utterly insane. But I'm glad I watched it. I don't think we need it in our collection.
You sure?
Yeah.
Is it in the maybe pile?
It's not in the maybe pile. I think this one can go. Okay. Because it's insane and you can watch the whole video on YouTube if you want to, guys. You can search it. So I would say because we can watch it online for the novelty factor, we don't need a hard copy of this one.
Okay.
I think this one can go.
Is it better than the last video then?
Yeah, but the Funniest Moments was not funny and it lasted about 3 years.
It was only an hour.
It wasn't. It was about 50 hours.
Felt like it.
It felt like it. I felt like I had the time turner from Harry Potter and I was literally just reliving the whole thing.
Did this video make you want to watch anything more with Roddy Piper in there?
Kinda, because he's insane.
Yeah.
Just because he's like mad as a box of frogs. So yeah, I would want to see more with him in, but not this one again. This is done. One and done. What are your thoughts?
Oh, it's insane. I'm glad I watched it though. Do recommend it to everybody to watch. I don't recommend it to everybody to buy, but since it's on YouTube, make sure you watch this because
we're not making it up.
No, we're definitely not making any of this up. Everything that we've said in this video is true.
It's not a weird cheese dream.
It feels like it though.
Yeah.
Well, that's it guys. That was Roddy Piper's Fighting Fit VHS. Have you seen anything quite as strange as this before? What did you think of this tape? If there are any other old wrestling VHS tapes that you would like us to watch in the future, then leave a comment below and we'll do our best to check it out. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe as it would really help us out. So, it's a bye from Vicky.
Bye guys.
And it's a bye from me. Bye. And hopefully we'll see you for another installment soon.
The first thing you do is go, "That's not my dad! That's not my